you are. I ask myself, is this shit real? I contemplate about how I.
Alright, everybody. I am Shango.
And I'm Malika.
And this is the Marriage Cave.
Woo!
Alright.
So, this is a show where we talk about marriage,
love, and everything in between.
So,
Yeah.
if you like some of our content, you want to see more, please like and subscribe.
Definitely subscribe.
Hit that
like,
notification
hit
bell.
that bell.
That'll let you know when we get new videos. So,
get to us.
let's get into the topic.
Yeah.
Alright, so in this video, we're going to be talking about adjusting to having a new baby after being a couple for however long you were a couple. I believe we were a couple for 11 months.
Yeah, 11 months.
When I found out, I was
11 months.
expecting with our first child.
Yeah, we wasted no time.
11 months. It was almost a year.
Almost.
So, alright. Thing number one. The first thing is you have to have a plan, right? And so
you definitely need a plan.
Yeah, you definitely need a plan. And so some of you may be thinking like, hey, it's not always planned. Well, it wasn't planned with us either.
No, it wasn't planned. We were we were going with the flow. The most 11 months later, she got that.
Our son, our oldest son.
Our oldest, yeah.
So, so some things might not always go as planned. You might find out that you're expecting as a mother, as a couple. Before you decided it was the right time. So whether you planned it or you didn't, you still have 9 months to plan, or at least a good 6 months. I mean, by 2 months, you should know you're pregnant, right? So you have that pregnancy time to plan whether or not it was expected or unexpected. So the first thing you need to decide is who's going to do what.
Yeah. Who's going to take care of which role, what's happening. So who's staying home, working. If both of you are working, that's one thing. But then it's like, if you're both working, what duties are each going to do? Dishes, or it's going to take the kids, choose changing diapers primarily. Well, everybody's going to change diapers. I mean, I do it myself. I mean, she do because it's like, a diaper can happen on the fly. She might be in the bathroom like, oh, he shitted. They're like, oh, okay. Should I do that? Well, if they take the diaper off, then
And then you're not taking a shower. And that's the thing.
So both of us know that.
When I first got pregnant, I was like, all right, so I was the one staying home. And by the way, that varies from couple to couple. We're not here to tell you what gender roles or what you have to do, however you guys plan that out. And one person, you both might work, but but if someone was staying home like myself, I was like, well, he shouldn't have to change diapers. I'll do it all because, I'm staying home. Little did I know that it's a 24/7 job. I mean, sometimes I have to use the bathroom. I have to eat. I have to take a shower. So
that's idealistic. This is
they don't plan when they go to the bathroom. I'm talking about every time this child uses the bathroom, they need their diapers changed.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. So you might think, oh, that's a petty thing. I don't have to plan it. No, plan it.
Yeah.
Because if you're a couple, especially if you live together, you know that little things can add up, whether that be dishes or vacuuming or anything. And that goes to who has their roles. It's like if you're both working, you have to be like, okay, well, you have this time of the night, or you have Tuesdays and Thursdays. You have the best thing for your relationship is to really iron that out. Who's getting up at night? Who's doing this? Who's doing that? It's not over planning. It's very serious. A lot of couples that don't do that, I feel like you're setting yourself up for.
Well, and I think that a diaper can make a difference for if you're on time or not. I mean, there's plenty of times you going somewhere, we going dinner or anything, appointments and nothing. It's like, all right, in the car, pissy. Oh, all right. That's 5 minutes. Or number 2, in 5 minutes make a difference. And
it's not just 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I mean, it's been.
Depends. Yeah.
We've been to daycares where it's like, oh, after a certain time, they're not letting you in. So there's been times where it's like, okay, I'm on the way to bring them, and there's a dirty diaper. So it's like, you have to plan out certain things. Think about certain things. Think about diapers. Think about, this is gonna sound simple, but even like filing their nails, because they can scratch themselves in the face. I mean, there's different things about having a child that you wouldn't know until you really had one.
Yeah, you wouldn't think about it. All right, how's it going to work? Luckily, we're blessed that it's like, she stays home and I'm working, and we working in between, because you still got to do stuff. Even because that's one thing I want to touch on. Even if I'm at work, and a lot of people think, well, I work, you do all this. You do all this at the house. I'm just going to work. And I've heard stories about that from other coworkers and them. I'm like, you gotta do something. You still gotta, cause a lot of times you cook and I'm holding the kids and keeping it down even after work. It's like it's teamwork. It's I just want to touch on that. It's still teamwork.
And that's one of the next points is that this child relies on you for everything.
Yes.
Like everything. I'm talking about every single thing. Like, from basic, just hygiene. But also they'll spit up on their clothes. They need their clothes changed. A lot of times they could pee through the diaper. It's just detail upon detail. This being needs so much attention until it's not like, I thought it would be easier than what it was. I mean,
Me too. I didn't know what
be.
to expect.
Yeah, it looks easy on Facebook. Everybody has
On
a picture
TV.
of their baby smiling and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I just didn't think it would take as much time as it needed. We see single mothers doing their thing, and we see single fathers. We see so many things on social media, and so I'm thinking, all right, we have a solid relationship. This should be a piece of cake.
Yeah, I thought the same. Because when I first, our son came, my firstborn, I was like, I didn't know what I was getting into. I was like, wow, this is all fresh. It was a new experience. I'm like, what? Because it's like it's nothing that you can expect to really just prepare. Because it's like, man, And so you just, when I say not prepared, it's just in terms of expectations. You do have a plan and try to work it through. But in terms of how this being is going to be, this person's personality, what they're going to do and not. Because our son's born, he had a personality, the wazoo. It's like, and it's just in a fresh person. You don't know if they're going to cry. Because each one of our kids were different. Their personalities were different. Each had their own thing.
That's a good point he mentioned about our son, like support system. I remember someone told me, someone said, I remember we were having a social media discussion about what you need before you're having a child, and of course, solid relationship, that's a given. However, it's like support system, and so someone said, hey, isn't it the parent's responsibility to take care of the child? What you need a support system for? And I'm like, child, like I would have never in a million years. Because, when are you going to go out on your dates?
Yeah, you still need your couple's time.
Of course. Right? You need that time together as a couple. And not just to have alone time, but just a baby is overwhelming. It's a 24-hour job. They don't just go to sleep at night like you would. A lot of times the sleep deprivation is real. Like you can't really sleep. You have to get up at the night.
You set yourself up. In other words, let's say, when they say it takes a village, they meant that shit. It takes, you do need help. You need help with certain things. I know, watching the kids. There's a lot of times we have date nights and we found the place that can take them, after hours, like, between 6 and 8 on weekends and stuff. And that was a good thing because we have some time for that. But a lot of times for place and family, just that support system where, oh man, I just... it's a sad. I just need like 2 hours. Can I get that? And some people might not have that, and we find out how important that is. Sometimes you want to just go out with your wife and just chill, get coffee or some shit. It's like having that is really something. So if you find that, if you have that and nourish that, is really something. Looking for that, it's important. Sometimes relying on daycares isn't always the best, and so
you have to work with what you have. We didn't have family that lived close to us, but the good thing about our family is, your sister have sent like stuffed animals, clothes. Your mom has sent stuff. Your aunt has sent things.
That helped a lot.
My mom sent things. Like people have sent things to our children. However, we live kind of isolated, so it's hard to have them babysit. So we've had to rely on daycares if we want a break. Yeah. And a lot of times that's hard to do because some daycares are good, some daycares are shit.
You hit the word. Yeah.
It's like smells like piss when you walk in. They'll sit there and like
issues.
we've had different hiccups with daycares.
Yeah, the wazoo.
I don't even want to talk about it.
That might be a video in itself.
Yeah, dealing with a daycare.
With daycare, we got a list.
That even though I stayed home, I did realize it was after 2 years. It was 2 years, and I was at my wit's end. Because you need that time to, you need some time for yourself too. At about 2 years old, I reached my breaking point where it was a breakdown where it's like, I need help. So at that point, we started incorporating daycares, and even if it was just for part-time, it was something.
It was something, and it did do something. It gave us a lot of breaks, but going into that, like the finances for daycare, we want to get into the financial aspect. That is a big deal. Some have different price ranges from top here to top tier.
Oh my gosh!
And preparing for that is something too, especially how many kids you want to have and not. I mean, you know, the clothing, you know, the finance. It's the finance for kids is a whole avenue. Paying for daycare because you know that's that's something. Diapers, clothing, gas for driving to daycare.
And it will add up.
And
don't think with penny pinching.
No.
It will add up.
Yeah, that's another thing to prepare and plan. It does add up. You know what I mean? You want to get them toys because, you know, they need that. We just had a baby. I bought them a toy from them. You know, with this inflation stuff now, it's like, should I get this? Should I not? Because I thought, well, maybe I'll get all the other kids something. Like, no, they got enough. They good. No, I got to just get one. You got to make choices, you know?
No, they need things. It's not just things that they... Not just things that they need as far as food, clothes, and shelter. I mean, there's some things that they want, too, that you have to think about. And so the very first thing is we're talking about ourselves here, which is daycare or childcare, babysitting, things like that all cost money. If you work, you're going to definitely need daycare. It's not optional. Or hopefully you have maybe a family member that might watch them. And even if you have a family member, don't take advantage of that person. Give them something. I mean, if it's not a gift or something. For an exchange, you know, for some kind of energy exchange.
Somebody said the energy thing for family is like, yeah, I've seen that you know, you want to do something if they're doing it because it is a lot. Even if it's a grandma, aunt, or whatever, just give them support because, you know, you gotta know that it's not easy just watching kids just because they like a relative. You know, that's take care so they can keep it going.
And speaking of children being a 24/7 job, I mean, so this brings it down to your relationship at the end of the day. You have to have a solid relationship. You know, y'all have to have the same values. I mean, do you want, you know, the medical care for the child?
Education.
Do you want them in daycare or do you want them at home?
At home, yeah.
You know, that all goes to your values. Another thing is patience. And, you know, your stress response. Remember, this person, y'all are going to be dealing with sleep deprivation.
Yeah.
And you're going to see...
Especially with a newborn.
Right. You're going to see another side to your spouse or to your, you know, your boyfriend, girlfriend that you never seen before.
When it comes to kids, because they don't test your patience as time goes on, no matter how young or old, even then. So responding to that and knowing that is something. You'll know a lot about your partner until you know about and how they react over stress and time. Each person responds to things differently. I mean, in life, you won't know who does what until it happens. And so I wouldn't just discard people, you know, questioning like, how you gonna do with this? Some questions you just won't know. If you find out they want kids and they're from their core and you both want that, then a lot of the patience and stress gonna fix itself anyway. You both want that. That's as far as knowing if you're both on the same page anyway. So that goes back, the values. If you have the same values, then all right, so you're gonna have patience when you're getting up. When you're getting up in the middle of the night.
Is marriage and family your values? Yeah. You know, like, do you value having a family, having a legacy? I mean, you know, sometimes I think about grandkids and great grandkids. I want a legacy to come from this union. So if you both have that expectation, well, you know, hopefully it should work out for you. And so, you know, get to it. Get to making babies. Have some fun. I mean, I see way too many couples that just, like, don't take the leap. And, you know, I feel like a lot of times fear stops people from having a family and from settling down, committing to marriage or anything like that. You know, get married, have some babies. It ain't that bad. It's a lot of fun. I mean, it's not all fun and games. You're going to go through challenges, but I wouldn't say don't do it.
I mean, there's a lot of good moments. I mean, there's videos where, Christmas, I watch them open their gifts when they light up. I mean, I'm going to say this. You do learn a lot about yourself having kids because it's a big difference from being yourself to taking care of somebody. You learn a lot and you grow. You're a different person. I feel like you're better. You can become better with having it. It's not something to run away from. I mean, some things can be challenging. A lot of things can be rewarding. You know, you building up a life from scratch up to, you know, the adulthood is just, you know, it's responsibility, but it can be very great. You know, you can see a lot of good things from teaching our son to read to saying, from nothing to not. Well, just that.
We talked about the patience thing, and that took a hell of a lot of patience.
A lot of patience, but then you see him reading or doing things, And it's like, dang, all right, wow, I had something to do with that. And it's a person that it's a lot. It's nice.
This is TMI, but I'm talking about detail upon detail. You have to teach this person how to wipe their behind.
Yeah, it goes back to you said earlier about you have to rely on you for everything, from wiping their butt to getting shit
you have
everywhere
to teach them
in the
how to fold
bathroom.
the tissue,
Fold
like
the tissue,
everything.
Yeah, and they didn't realize the details in terms of taking care of that, but they are details, and you have to, be on that, and that's a lot of learning, and from people that wouldn't have kids, there's a lot of lessons they wouldn't even really know,
It is worth it at the end of the day. I mean, obviously, we would say so. We have 5 of them, so, of course, we think it's worth it. 5.
And so, like we go back to having a plan. I mean, we having a joke and summing it up is like, try to plan as much as you can. Going back to that, even though we had an unplanned,
like pretty much none of our kids were planned.
None of them. We have 5 and like none of them getting there. So
we didn't mind having another baby.
We didn't mind it. We bounced into it.
We didn't mind it. It was kind of like, oh, here's another one.
Right. Time to get the plan in. We went from unplanned to planned.
Right. And so, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Make some babies, y'all. Make some babies.
Make some babies, get it out there. And so we want to see that too, from black couples, from all couples. So we want to say this. I am Shango.
And I'm Malika.
And this was the Marriage Cave.
And we're out.